Hello guys, welcome to Python Psycho. In the previous lecture, we learned about operator. In this lecture, we will be learning about conditional execution. Conditional execution in Python means running a block of code only if a certain condition is true. In short, we will use if, else and elif statement to write our code. Let's see how does it works. So let's have our first block of code, which is if block. Here, I'm giving it a condition, suppose 10 greater than 11. Print hello. So here, let's save the file. So here, as you can see, the condition we have given is false. That's why there is no output. Let's have another example. Suppose I'm writing 11 greater than 10 this time, and I'm printing hello. Before that, as you can see, there was no output in the previous example because our condition was false. Let me comment out this part of code and let's rerun this code. So here you can see the output hello is printed. It's because 11 greater than 10, the condition is true. Let's have another code. Suppose I'm typing 10. Let's do 11 equals to 12. Alright, so here the condition again is false. That's why the word output won't be printed. Let's move ahead and see what else block is as well. So first I will do if. Suppose let's do x equals to 10. Let's do if x greater than equals to 18, print major. And now we will add our else block. So for that we will write else, then we will give two colons and we will print minor. Let's run the code. So here we can see minor is printed. It's because x, which is 10, is smaller than 18. That makes the condition false, and that's why else block of code is written, which is minor. In Python, the code is distributed, or we can say divided, through spacing. And this space is known as indentation. Here you can see we have some space left out below if else block here as well. Here. This space is called as indentation. Indentation helps Python to differentiate the code. In other language, we mostly use curly brackets or terminator, but here we use spaces to define our code or to differentiate our code. Let's, before moving further, let's learn something different to know it much better. Input function. Input function is one of the best function in Python. Through this, you can get inputs from the user or from the front end as well. Suppose I'm asking, I'm building a variable a, and I'm adding input function, bracket open, and suppose I'm writing enter name, code complete, bracket complete, and suppose I'm printing a here. Let's run the code. Here you can see enter name, which I wrote here is printed here. Now I will simply enter my name, and here you can see Manav is printed. Let's do another input function, but this time suppose I want an integer from the user. So here, before writing input function, I will write int and then use the input, and here I will add enter age, and I will print age. So let's do. So here, so the code will be rewritten, and here let's add our age. So here you can see this is how input function works. If you want a value in decimal, you can also use float as well. For example, float input, enter a decimal number, and let's simply print it. So the whole code will rerun. If you want to comment this part out, we can do that as well. So let me comment it out. and let's rerun it. So here you can see enter a decimal number. Suppose I'm doing 1.1. So here you can see 1.1 is printed. Let's solve more Python problems through input function as well. Suppose we want to make odd even checker. This code checks whether the number is odd or even. So let's first ask user to give a number. I will do int input enter a number. As a number is a integer for Python, we will always add int before it. Let's do if n divided by 2 equals 0. So in this condition, let's first print n n is even number. In this example, I have written a variable and a string together, and those variable and string is differentiated by a comma. Let's understand our condition as well. Here I have written 10 divided by 2, or sorry, n divided by 2 equals to 0. So what does that basically mean? Suppose the user has given a number 10, which will be divided by 2. So if 2 5s is 10, and 10 minus 10 is 0. So that's why this value will become 0, and this equals to 0, which makes the R condition true. That's why this part of code will be running. Let's do another. Let's have else block as well. And let's print in the explorer uh, is odd number. Here, suppose if the user has given us 11 as a number, that's divided by 2. So the closest number again is 10, and 11 minus 10 equals 1. And 1 equals 1 is a false statement. That's why the else block of code will be running. Let's run it and understand more. Here I'm giving it a number. Let's do the number as 31. As 31 is an odd number because our condition wasn't satisfied, we can see our output is odd number. Let's rerun the code and add a even number, 42. So here you can see 42 is an even number because our condition is satisfied. Let's have another example where we can check age as well, age checker. Let's comment out this part of code as well. I'm creating a age variable in which I'm using the input function again and input enter age. Now let's use our logic. So here age, if the age is greater than equals to 18, we'll print you are an adult. And let's do another else block of code. In else block of code, we don't give our condition, only if block contains our condition. So let's do else. And the another thing as well is the colon is very important in if else and else block as well. So let's do you are not an adult. So let's run the code. So here if I give any age which is less than 18, let's try 16. So here you can see you are not an adult. Let's rerun it once. And suppose if I give the age as 50. So here you can see you are an adult is printed. Let's move ahead and make a grade system as well now through effects. This time, let's first comment out this part of code. In a grade system, we have multiple grades. Like if we have more than 80, we get A grade. If we have more than 60, we get B grade. If we more than have 40, we have C grade. And suppose less than 40, we have fail. Okay. So here we have multiple conditions, and to satisfy multiple conditions, we have new block of code which is known as elif. So let's see how does it work. First, let's ask our user percentage. So I'm building a percentage variable here. We can also add float as well. I'm using int here. So int input enter percentage. So if this percentage is greater than equal to 80, we will print A grade. Now we have our another condition which is 60. So for that we will now add elif. In any Python code, we can have n number of elif, but if an else block only repeat once, and elif can repeat multiple times. So let's do percentage greater than equal to 60, and here I will print B grade. Let's have another condition as well, which is elif percentage greater than equals to 40, print C grade. Make sure to always give a colon after if, else, elif, any block of code. Let's do our last one, which is print, else, print, fail. So if any of this condition doesn't satisfy, the else block will be running. So let's run this code. So here, suppose I'm giving it 33. As 33 is less than 40, the else block is running. Let's rerun it. Here, this time let's give it 83 percentage. And you can see 83 is greater than equals to 83. 83 greater than equals to 80. So that's why A grade or if block of code is running. Let's rerun it once again. And here let's do 65. This time as 65 is greater than equals to 60. That's why elif part of code is running. Let's let's have another example. Uh, Here I'm asking colors and they will check for a traffic signal. So let's ask the user color equals to input enter color. Whenever we are asking any word to user, we can simply write input. There is no need to write int or float before it. So here I wrote enter color. Now let's create our condition. So if color equals to, suppose we have three colors in traffic signal, red, yellow, and green. So let's do our first one, which will be if color equals to red, we can print stop. As our Python is case sensitive, so if the user gives the R of red in capital form, the condition won't be satisfied. So for that, we will also add a OR block of code in which any one condition is true, so it will run. Let's do one more condition as well. Now let's elif again. Elif color equals to yellow or color equals to capital yellow. It will print us slow down. So as you can see, our Python is case sensitive. That's why I have added both capital and small format as well. Let's do our last elif condition, which is elif color equals to green or color equals to green. We will print go. And if the user gives any another color, we will print invalid color. Let's make this code a little better. And here I will add enter traffic light color. Let's run the code and see how does it work. So here, if I enter any color, suppose I'm entering red. So here you can see stop is printed. Suppose I give here any another color, suppose it's green. So go is printed. Let's also try yellow, but this time I'm using Y in a capital format. Let's run it. Here you can see slowdown is printed. But suppose I give any another type of color. Let's do blue. As there is no blue in our conditions, it will give us the output false. So let's try it as well. So here you can see invalid color is printed. It's enough for this lecture. In the next lecture, we will be learning about for loops in Python. Thank you.